If the girl saw anything, it was never known. She remained very foolish in her silence. They checked a hole that was on the wall.
So they came in here.
Yes, sir, over there.
And how do you know that, darling?
He said to her in a resentful tone. Evita felt silenced again. The police officer turned his back on her. He wanted to pretend indifference on his part because he thought that would make her talk. So first, they made a hole in the lower part of the wall. They entered, went to the cellar, destroyed sacks of corn, and smashed the floors and walls with machetes. Then they went out into the garden to cause more damage. And they tore everything to pieces with machetes. Is that all, ma'am? Yes, sir. The funny thing is that they didn't steal anything. She insisted again.
It's a robbery without robbery. Very strange, ma'am.
Very strange. They didn't even take the clothes they were hanging. And they are intact. They didn't even take the sheets.
Write that down! Write that down!
The police officer went aside with the woman, with the lady of the household.
Tell me, what are your suspicions?
I have no suspicions.
Do you have full confidence in your servants?
Yes, of course. I have known them for years. How dare you insinuate there are bandits in this house? The policeman apologized. Throughout the morning, he continued his errands at Don Antonio's house. He couldn't make sense of the story. He looked at Evita, but Evita remained stubborn. The police officer told his partner, "This little brat knows everything." Then he went to interview the watchman Rutilio. He admitted he went to hide. He didn't see anything. The maids said the same thing again.
Has everyone already given a statement?
Everyone except the poor Lorenza. She was so scared that she lost her speech.
Did she lose her speech?
Yes, sir. The police officer went to the maid's room. She was lying down, her pink dress soaked with sweat. He wanted to question her, but she was complaining by sweating. The police was left shocked. At 12 p.m., everybody left. They came to the conclusion the strangers were enemies of Mr. Antonio. And what else do enemies do than do evil? Of course, there was gossip all over the town. At first, they spoke of the men as strangers, then as if they were demons. Evita never spoke. Lorenza lost her speech. Everyone was sure there was something out of this world, but no one knew what made her go mute. The mystery was locked in Lorenza's muteness and Evita's silence. Many years later, Evita, me, have decided to tell the story about the robbery at Tixcla. The garden was the place that I liked the most. It was my toy. Rivers, towns, jungles, ferocious animals, endless adventures. My parents were too busy with themselves, and they left us in the garden, and like plants, my brothers and I grew. My father raised the wall, he arranged making of the cellar. My mother thought all of those expenses were useless. My dad decided to put corn to put in the store. He put a lock in the cellar and he left it abandoned. A year passed and I was still playing with the trees. I played with the flowers. The cellar was left closed. I tried to open the lock many times. I asked my dad for the key. He lost it and the cellar remained closed. I was friends with the maids. I liked their dark braids, their violet dresses, and their shiny jewelry, and the things they knew. Lorenza, the youngest, exchanged her secrets for me in exchange of mine. Lorenza had an advantage of me. She was the daughter of a witch, and her knowledge of mystery was very vast. I couldn't face her other than by telling her of my dad's treasures. One day I told her my dad's vases were worth more than a ship, although neither she nor I knew what a ship was. We imagined ships were giant towers with lights in the sea. When Lorenza saw the vases were beautiful, she told me a witchcraft secret that helped me give orders to my brothers. When it got dark, I used to go to the ironing room and talk to her. Clothes steaming, dark eyes. I remember she told me terrible things. She sang songs of abandoned people who cried at night on dusty roads for an ungrateful woman. Yulang is drinking because of me. Lorenza began to laugh. I liked very much when she laughed because I could see her gold tooth. I told my mother, "Mom, can you put me a gold tooth?" "Shut up! Don't talk nonsense. It is a horrible tradition." One day I told Lorenza I saw Julian with another woman.